Welcome back, insiders. I am absolutely shocked today. It was a roller coaster of emotions, and I did something that I've done probably close to, if not over 100 times, and that is being at a really nice green spot and then going red, and then sometimes even hitting max loss. Today, you'll see I didn't hit max loss. I'm only down I'm up 350 right here. But I was up 1,000, and then I was down even after the stream. I was down like 400. And that is just a big emotional roller coaster that I don't even know if I want to partake in half the time. And I was thinking, like, how do I get myself out of these situations? Because I've been thinking about this a lot. How do I go about this and not always fall into the same trap? And I was talking about this in detail on the live stream today. Here's what you do and don't want to do as a trader on a bird's eye view. You want to limit your downside so you don't have, $10,000 red days but only $1,000 green days, right? So you have a max stop on the day. And that for me right now is $1,000. I hit $1,000, no more trading. And I don't have any sort of limit to limit my top. The problem is sometimes I'll be up 1,000, sometimes even 2,000, and then before I know it, max loss day. And there is something that is just so frustrating about that situation where, the longer you work, the more money you give back. And the less money you make, so to say. It's a really frustrating place to be. But how do you mitigate that problem? What do? Because you don't want to put a ceiling on your gains, or you're never going to have a really big day. So I can't just say every time I'm up over $1,000, I go ahead and call it. So I've been having a really hard time trying to figure out a rule to address this issue. Now, I did do for a while, like, if I pull back 50% from my high, so if I'm up 1,000, then I'm at $500, I would stop out for the day. But I have a hard time doing that as well. I don't know what it is. I've tried it for over a year and it doesn't work for me. So here's what I'm going to do going forward to address this. I'm going to be in Utah for the next 6 weeks. So 6 weeks, I'm going to test this out. I'm going to do every day, basically, 4G mindset, get green, get going. So if I just nailed a 45-minute long front side, which is pretty long, if a small cap even runs like that, then I get out. Like today, I would have called it, right? I could come back later, but I definitely need to call it, close TOS, and then maybe an hour and a half goes by. I want to check, see if there's any gappers. Maybe I could come back. And if we're in a 2020 environment, where it's super, super hot, like $1,000, 1,000% gappers, where mistakes, you make profits. Those days where you do tons of mistakes and you just made 2K doing a mistake. So if we're seeing stuff like that, right? Everyone wants to be a day trader on YouTube, etc. That's when you stick around all day. But these are very rare. If you nailed the front side, take the win. Save the energy for the hot environment. And if you want to, and this is really important here, if you want to make more money, use bigger size next time. Today, I used pretty decent size, maybe between $5,000 and like $7,000. I don't know what my average is, probably below 5,000 because I had a lot of smaller entries where I had partial fills. But if I wanted to make more money today, if I want to make 2K today, I should have used 20K size. It's that easy. Or if I wanted to make 3K, I should have used 30K average size, right? It's kind of that simple. So usually making more money does not mean trade longer. It's usually the opposite. Trade less in terms of time, market exposure, and in terms of how many times you actually trade. So this is my rule for, against market exposure, aka really against myself, because you are trading against yourself. You are your biggest enemy in a way, and your biggest companion and biggest enemy. You have the devil and you got the angel on the shoulder, right? One's like telling you to overtrade, the other one's like, be patient, be patient, be patient. So this is my rule for that. I'm gonna try it for 6 weeks. That basically means if I nail some sort of front side, there's no arbitrary number. I could be up 500, I could be up 5,000. If I really just nail something based on what I was able to do, I'm going to go ahead and call it. I don't want to put some sort of number behind it. Obviously, if I'm up like $50, I'm not going to call it because that doesn't really mean anything, right? There's just some scratches or something like that. That was always the hard thing for me. It's like, what number do I put on it? And I don't want to put any sort of number on it. It's really if I nailed it, and I don't want to spend the next 2-3 hours going from a really good day to max loss, which has happened to me so many times. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'm so curious to hear your guys' thoughts. We discussed it quite a bit in the Discord and in the YouTube stream. And I've talked to several other pro traders, including Danny, about this. And, he's having several issues himself, and he agrees with this philosophy. He's been having days where he's up 3,000 and then he's down 3,000 and he's back to break even, and it's exhausting. Now, one good thing, especially when you're starting out, is you do want to have screen time. You want to get more exposure to the market. Even if you're making mistakes, it is really important to just learn as much as you possibly can. So I think that is probably first and foremost the most important thing, and that's why I don't really mind sometimes when I have these issues, because sometimes even red days are the days you learn the most, just like today. Although I am green, but I was red and I was very frustrated about it. And just, having your toes in the water and getting that exposure, I do think is really important. But I'm getting to the point where market exposure is hurting me more than it's doing good. I hope that's really clear. Now, to end the day, I do want to share some exciting trades. I'll share two, my worst and my best. I don't know if it was my best, but one really good one. We had two gappers today that were pretty interesting, PCSA and ONCO. So these are the two I want to talk about, and you'll see it. And here on the second screen, you'll see PCSA right here, which was actually pretty okay. We had some really big front sides, but I absolutely destroyed this one in the worst possible way. I got destroyed on this one. I would get stopped out right before it ripped twice. That was very frustrating. And then ONCO, I absolutely nailed this front side. Then I gave back in the consolidation, and then at the market open, I gave back even more. And believe it or not, I was just trading it like a degenerate right here, and I was able to make back some of my losses. Here you see ONCO as well, where I was just trading it. Believe it or not, I was buying here looking for that break over VWAP, and I literally had that was here. I was buying here for the break of VWAP. I had to stop almost at the perfect low, got stopped out, then I chased it higher for a re-entry, and this one got me back green. I was like down 400 on ONCO right here when I got stopped out, and then I made it back. And yeah, I don't know. My goal was the break of VWAP. So it broke VWAP, pulled back, and actually had another move. So if I held this, I would have been over 1,000, back over 1,000 on ONCO. I was over 1,000 pre-market, but today I felt like getting back green was already a big win. So here's one of my trades on ONCO. This is the live stream. So let's go ahead and start it. Right now the face is actually me. I could hide the face, but yeah, no, I'll leave it though. So here on this trade, we had a nice flag. You could see that really good on the 5-minute down here. And I was looking for that trend line break back and into 45. That was my goal. And my size I was trying to do was between 10 and 20,000 share size, closer to 20 if possible. What I just did on ONCO after the stream was a 20,000 share size. Not dollar, sorry, 20,000 shares, not $20,000. That is my next goal though. Here I'm sizing in. I'm usually very quiet at this phase because I just want to be focused. I don't want to distract myself by talking. Sometimes I'll speak my mind. So yeah, I'm looking for that move to 45. Also light volume though. I am mentioning the light volume, but I'm just taking the opportunity to size. There we go. I'm actually scaling out already because we see a lot of these pops and drops. There we go. That was the move. That was the move. So that was one of my better trades. Tell you what, easy moves feel a little bit behind us right now. Yeah, and then I said the easy moves are a little bit behind us right now. So if we just go forward on this one, it does actually end up breaking to 45, and I chase and I try to get back, and I actually do good here. And then I have another green trade here, but eventually I give back at one point. So it was good momentum, but I felt like the easy trades were a little bit behind us after this pop. Over here was much easier, even though I did give back quite a bit as well. So that was ONCO, and again, you guys can check out my trades. Since I start at 7 a.m., it's pretty easy to find exactly what you want to look for. Let's say you want to go for market open. Well, that's going to be 2.5 hours roughly. So right around here is going to be market open. Yeah, there you see it, market open, exactly. Now let's go to the next ticker. That was PCSA. Really nice low float, 1.2 million. So let's go for this trade. This is this is my bad trade that I did in the YouTube chat. Looks really good. Fast forwarding, 2.5 speed quickly. Here we go. I was looking for that pullback here. On the 5 minute, you could see a nice pullback. We were at big support, or like right on it. So I was looking for that pullback and then a break higher, which eventually happened. So I had the right idea here.
New minute, 3, 2,
but I was too early. Now I'm chasing. Never chase these bounces. I feel like that's a bad idea. And sometimes it flushes, pulls up, you think it's going to reverse, and then it actually does the dip it was going to do. So that stopped out. And here I'm actually like, wait, it is going back up. You're going to fast forward again. So here I'm a little indecisive. I should have just closed it. I should have just cut this position and moved on. I'm going to fast forward again. And here I'm like, oh man, I think I made a bad mistake. And now I'm just like thinking about how I just gave back from, you know, being up over 1,000 and gave back 20%, which is not a big deal. But instead of cutting it, I averaged down.
Still a lot of sellers though.
I know there's a lot of sellers. And
that was
boom,
nasty. That was really nasty.
Now I'm down 40% from where I was.
Good. Can't deny that.
So I'm giving back way too much money for no reason on a very bad setup. And lo and behold, PCSA does exactly what I wanted it to do going forward. Here it is. Look at that. So I wanted to actually size into this area and look for that breakout higher, and that's what happened. And I'm really annoyed that, you know, I was a little bit eager beaver. So sometimes let's just say once you have some good trades behind you, then you get a little bit antsy, you get a little bit maybe greedy, you get a little bit whatever you want to call it. And that's definitely what happened to me. And all I had to do today was call it, and I could have came back by myself in peace after the stream and maybe trade a little bit market open or something like that with lower size. But the best thing I did last year was closing up TOS. I can't tell you how many times that actually saved me. And I'll come back and be like, wow, I would have definitely given back on some of these moves because it got choppy or whatnot. And once you start thinking about the P&L too much, that's also bad, right? Once I'm thinking about, oh, I'm up 1,000. Oh man, I just gave back 40%. Oh man, you know, that's when your mind starts wandering into that area, you're in a bad position. And that never happens to me for those first 30, 45 minutes usually. It always happens after I nail a front side. I'm chilling for 10 minutes. I see something else popping, and boom, that's when I start thinking about my P&L. So I just want to be very conscious of how I trade, my psychology, and understanding what I need to do to become the best trader and not making those same mistakes. And I feel like I've been making those same mistakes. So what works for me is closing TOS and really getting to a state of calm. And if I want to, I can always come back. But I'll tell you what, that hour of just relaxing, closing TOS, and just taking that step back, it does wonders for me. And I don't have to come back, but it is really good for me to take a break. Giving yourself time to breathe, time to relax. Unless it's in that environment where that's just absolutely crazy, where your mistakes make you money. But we're not in that environment, and I've said it 1,000 times, and I don't want to keep making this mistake. So I'm going to try out this new rule against market exposure, aka myself. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below this YouTube video or right here on my Twitter new rule tweet. You can follow me at Mr. Alex Winkler. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and dropping that like. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you then first thing Monday morning, because tomorrow I'll be flying to Utah, so no streaming. I got to get up at 3:30 a.m. tomorrow. It's going to be brutal. Wish me luck, and good luck to you guys on your trading tomorrow.